Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for American Horror Stories Season 2, Episode 7, Necro. I know it's been a minute. I was on vacation to be exact. My husband and I will be celebrating our 8-year anniversary on Friday. And so we took our anniversary trip last weekend. We went to St. Thomas. It was amazing. I'm well rested, you know, all that good stuff. So we're back with the reviews. I still have to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm a really try to get that one out at least before the reunion comes on, because last week was the finale, so we got to get it out before the reunion part 1, because I know it's gonna be at least 4 parts. I know it's gonna be at least 2 to 3 more weeks of this. There's no way they're just giving us 2 parts. So let me just say it's at least gonna be 3 to 4 weeks of more Housewives. So I gotta get to it. I don't wanna pile it up on myself. And then, like, I'm super behind. I hate being behind. Sometimes I think maybe I should take my work with me. But there was no time for that. Like, I'm trying to think of when I would have been able to record anything this weekend. It wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. It was jam-packed. Anyway, let's get to the review. So, first, we see that there's this woman. We see this hammer on the floor, and this woman sprawled out on the floor. She's dead, and it looks like she's been bludgeoned to death by that hammer. Then we see this little girl, maybe between 2 and 3, or maybe 3 and 4. She didn't look that small. But anyway, she comes, you know, walking into the room, and she leans down, you know, over her mother, and her mother's breasts are exposed, and so she just starts nursing on her deceased mother. I was like, I know the baby don't know no better, but oh my goodness, that's tough times. You know, like that's and amazing at the same time that that her milk supply was still there. Anyway, then we see this woman. She's a mortician, and we see that she's at the funeral home preparing bodies. And we're set in, I forgot what part of California it said, but California 2022, so it's present day. And then we see that she's at the, you know, the funeral is happening. And we see, though, how she transforms the body. She's really good at what she does, because the people be looking bad, and she, you know, has them looking like themselves again. And so after the funeral, when she's headed out, her boss stops her, you know, to kind of commend her about, you know, what she's been doing. Like, you made them folks look good. I think you need a raise. I think you deserve a raise for your good work, you know, on those bodies. And so he offers her a raise. Go ahead, girl. Anyway, when she gets home, she gives the good news to her man, who is an attorney, and he seems like he's in a rush on his way out. She trying to get down, and he looking at her like, why don't you go in the bathroom and try some of that lavender soap I bought you under the sink. Go ahead and do that. And she's like, I took 2 baths before I left the place. He like, not enough. I'm still smelling formaldehyde, and that's not gonna get the juices flowing for either of us. So yeah, nah, he gonna have to take a rain check on that. Sam, we found out her name is Sam. Sam, she's having a girls' day. And, you know, they're just talking to her about her relationship and how things seem like they're a little bit off between she and her boyfriend. And she also feels like things have been off with him, you know, hence him not wanting to sleep with her the day before, all of that. Her friends don't understand why, you know, because she puts this job first. This job means a lot to her. And they don't understand why, if her man asks, you know, her of the little things, why she's not doing it. Like, why you didn't just bathe with the lavender? Your man say he don't like the smell of formaldehyde when you get home. You might want to not be smelling like formaldehyde, especially if you're trying to get some, girl. But anyway, they don't understand her fascination with her new job. You know, they just see it as being around dead people all day. But of course, she doesn't see it that way. her friend notices that, you know, when she's talking about her job and what she does and the dead people, that she's just beaming, you know, she's just so excited. She's so excited. But when she's talking about her man, it's kind of like mundane, like, yeah, gotta go home to this man. You know, and then, you know, when she's talking about the things she does for him, it's bare minimum. It's really not, she's not putting forth any effort into this relationship. And it shows. It shows. It's almost like she's in a situation where he loves her a lot, or way more than she loves him. Anyway, Sam, she's at work and she's working on a body, and this man has a gunshot wound like to the eye, and so she's got her work cut out for her, but she gonna do it. The family wants an open casket, you know, so she gonna get the work done. She's in there working, and she gets interrupted by this guy, his name is Charlie, and he says that he's the new grave digger, and he's just there to drop off another body. And before he leaves, he leaned down and say a little something to the lady. And of course she's looking like, what you said? When she gets out there, she asks him, what was that? What was that? Excuse me. What was that that was said? And Charles says that he just thanked her. And she's like, thanked her for what? He doesn't tell her at first. He just says, you know, that's personal. Don't worry about what I thanked her for. I just thanked her. And he does end up telling her. Yeah, he told her he thanked her for letting him be the one to, you know, help her, lead her to Sam, basically lead her to her final resting place. So he thanked her for that. And then he starts telling these stories about the Egyptians and how they prepared a body, and it would take them weeks. You know, it would take them weeks, and it was an honor to be the caretaker, all of that. So, which is true. I remember, and this is completely off topic and y'all probably don't care, but I remember learning about the Egyptian mummification process in, I want to say that was middle school. I did a paper on that, and I got a whole 100, A++++. Kudos to me. My mama still got that paper. She still got that paper. I remember when I was moving into this house, and you know how it is. Come get all your stuff. I remember seeing the paper, and I was like, y'all kept this. That's great. Anyway, a whole lot of good pertinent information. Listen, I did my research. I did good on that paper. Anyway, let me get down off my soapbox. She gets home, and she, you know, decides she gonna put on a little something special. Oh, by the way, this guy, his line of questioning, how he's just his whole vibe is looking like she's liking it. You know, they have a lot in common. He has a whole fascination with death and the afterlife as well, and so she done already took a liking to him. She's intrigued, I should say. Anyway, she gets home and she puts on a little something special, you know, for her man. And, you know, now he in the mood because she done took a bath with that lavender. He in the mood now, and so they get it in. She, you know, she gets some, you know, and now it's almost as if she is only doing this because of, you know, her interaction with this other man. It was like, it gave her a little bit of push. Because she starts thinking about him and everything. She having sex with her man, and she starts seeing Charles instead. She thinking about Charles while she having sex with this man. Anyway, the next day, while they're at work, you know, they talk about death and the afterlife. Like, they really dive deep and have meaningful conversation, at least to them. And it's like I said, they have a lot in common. He tells her a story about his father and his family. You know, his whole family is deceased. And he talks about, you know, the fact that it was a car accident. They were hit by a drunk driver and all of that. And he was the only one that survived. Sam also lost her family. She doesn't want to talk about what happened. And she says she doesn't talk about her family ever. And so she's not going to share. But her parents, her family is gone as well. Then her boyfriend calls. She was supposed to be meeting him and his parents for dinner. So she's late, so she got to run out. They were like really in a trance, about to kiss, about to do all that. And that phone rings. So girl, get your behind home. Get your butt home. When she gets home, it's dark in the house and she's trying to flick on the lights and they won't come on. And she's just, you know, walking through, and then all of a sudden she sees cereal on all over the floor, Lucky Charms. And somebody flips on the light and sis is in a corner bawling. She was having a PTSD moment. She was back in her mother's house, you know, walking through the house and stumbling on that Lucky Charms that was all over the floor after her mother was murdered, all of that. So it was a triggering experience for her. And the whole time he was trying to propose, he got written out in the Lucky Charms, "Will you marry me?" And she just is like, I'm too messed up. You don't want to marry me. I got a lot going on. I'm too messed up. And she just runs out. We see that she's about to prep another body, and this person is listed as a John Doe, and she just starts talking to the John Doe. You know, I'm Sam, and I'm gonna get you ready today. And when she pulls back the sheet, it's Charles. She is stunned, you know, and on the chart it says that it was not a suicide, but an overdose. And she's just like, Tommy's just stupid. How stupid could you be? And she's just standing there. And she starts to get all sad and sappy. You know, she's talking to him and looking at him. And, you know, like, I just met you. We could have been something special. You know, she's touching on his face. And I was thinking, ma'am, don't you do what I think you about to do. But that's exactly what she does. She's rubbing all on him and talking all on him. And then she gets up on the table and cuddles with him. Okay, you still haven't crossed that line. You crossed a line. Because, I mean, you're doing a lot. But for somebody grieving, I can see you climbing up on the table and, you know, wanting to, like, really be up under your person. But it's still weird. And she's mentioned before some of the different side effects that, you know, that take place when it comes to preparing these bodies. You know, some people release gas, and she talked about a woman chuckling or laughing or letting out a sigh. People have erections, you know, all of that. And so she looked down at them sheets, and he getting an erection. And so she looking, and then she thinking like, I am not about to do this. And she looked back down again. Oh, can't do this. She gets up there and lays on him. And next thing you know, she done mounted the dead peen. I was like, girl. Full on necrophiliac. It's gross. Anyway, she has the sex with the deceased man, and his arm reaches out and grabs her leg, and she jumps up and jumps off the table and runs out. And she's just, you know, disgusted with herself. Like, I cannot believe I did that. She paced on the floor and all that. She's just completely beside herself. And next thing you know, then out of nowhere in the alley, Sam, it's Charles, up off the table. So Charles done faked all of this. He playing games. And now she want to flip it like, you tricked me, and how could you do this, and blah, 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 blah. He's like, whoa, whoa. Now, it wasn't supposed to go that far. And besides that, you definitely screwed me. Make no mistake about it. Let's start there at the fact that you got on top of this peen, dead or not. Like, you were under the impression that I was dead. And he asked her, did you like the fact that I was dead? And she is just so upset with him. You know, like, don't do that. Don't say that. But girl, that's what it is. She done came to her own realization that I might be a little weird. I might be the person that gets off on deceased people. But anyway, Sam has a new job, we see, and she's, now it's 2 months later, and she's working at the mall or some makeup counter. not doing a good job on these people makeup. But we see that she's celebrating her engagement. So they came around full circle, and she did accept the engagement from her boyfriend, and they're about to get married. And it's the date. No. Sorry, y'all. She is getting ready to marry Jesse, and while she's out and about, she starts to hallucinate and see Charles, like in reflection in glass and all of that. And but she continues on, and it's the day of the wedding, and her friend is like, noticing, you look very unhappy, like you're the most unhappiest bride I've ever seen. What is going on with you? And of course, she tries to play coy, and she just insists that it's just, jitters and all of that. She's happy and she's ready to get married. At the wedding, they're exchanging vows and all of that. And then her fiance says that he has something up his sleeve. I got something I want to show you. And, we go to the PowerPoint, and the pictures are rolling of the two of them, and their relationship and all of that. And then it cuts to this black and white like surveillance video of Miss Girl riding dead peen. And everybody's like, and of course she's like, it's not what you think, it's really not what you think. And then here come Charles busting through the church like, you're my woman, I love you. He can't love you like I love you. He doesn't understand you. I would never judge you. All that. And she's just like, I hate you. How could you do this? Blah, 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 blah. Fiance done ran out. He done said, listen, F you and her. Bye. I'm not doing this. Because whatever you try to say, girl, you were having sex with somebody else. And so that's that. That's that. Yeah, so that was that for that wedding. Poor thing. She just ran out of there with left with nobody. The wedding is off. Anyway, Sam, we see she's at another job interview, this time for some type of cleaning service, and she's in there, doing a great job at the interview. And there are, the other women that work there, they standing behind looking at their phones like, y'all see that? Come over, pause. Psst. Let me show you something. And so he goes out, he steps out, give me a minute, steps out, and then he comes back and he's like, yeah, it looks like we just filled the position. We're not going to be needing a new hire after all. And she's just like, what? He's like, yeah, we can't hire no sex offender around here. And so I don't know when this happened, but now she a registered sex offender. And her business is all over the place. She just can't seem to catch a break after this. She begs, of course, but I mean, he ain't finna give her no job. She get in her car and, she's looking at the memes. It's memes out there about her and everything. She goes to the store. We see that. The people heckling her at the store. It's just all bad. It's just all bad. And we see her buying a gun off the street. So I'm thinking, uh-oh, is she about to commit suicide? I mean, girl, don't do it. Don't do it, okay? She's living out of her car. It's really bad. Since that happened, he really shook the table with that video. And we also see that she's been following him around. She's been following Charles around town. We see that he's out digging a grave, and she run up on him with the gun like, you ruined my life. You ruined my life. And now I'm about to end yours. And of course he's like, don't shoot. He ain't really begging and pleading, but he's just trying to get her to see that he understands her. I get you. I would never judge you. You and I can be together. We can do this thing. Let's make this work. I love you. And he's, talking to her, and he kind of talks her down a little bit. And, explains what really happened. He basically, I think he wanted to give her a little taste of death, because he said he had a taste with death when his family's blood was all over him. It kind of gave him a rush. And so ever since then, he just has this thing, for death and people's last moments and all of that. And when it comes to her, it's obvious that she's a necrophiliac. It's obvious, And so he talking to her, and he know about her mama and all of that and what happened with her. And she, at first, she's like, you say one more thing about my mama, I swear to God. He's like, no, let me tell you what I know. So basically, because we see what happened with her mother, you know, the man busted in the house. It was a home invasion type of situation. But the little girl, she said she nursed on her dead mother for 3 days. She really was laid up with her mama, playing with her. But she said she brushed her hair, she fed her Lucky Charms. You know, she was a toddler. She didn't know what was going on. Probably thought her mama was asleep, but her mother was dead. And so, and she said she's never felt more safe than that moment. And she never felt that safe again until she was with him that night, you know. And they start this talking back and forth, and he's saying to her he want to be with her forever and all of that. And you know, he's like, let me just make you happy and all that. And she takes him up on that. You know, she lets her guard down and then shoots him right in the stomach. And, you know, he's like, oh, what in the world? You meant right now? You meant right this second? Yeah, right this second. She ready to die right now. So she pushed him back in the hole he was digging and jumped down in there with him, mount the peen and all, and really ride the town. To death, you know, to death do that. And no, not even till death do that, till death do they part, because they finna be in that hole together. She turned the thing on, and all the dirt starts, you know, getting dumped into the hole, and they just kissing and rubbing and kissing up and rubbing up and filling up until their demise. I said, ain't this some shit here? I mean, I guess everybody got what they wanted, so I can't really be too mad with the ending. It's just another episode that was just like, this season, I'm telling y'all, this season is not, it's just not. It is just not. That's that. That's it. That's, put the period on after, put the period after. It is just not. Because I don't, the only episode that had me super excited to get over here and review it was the Bloody Mary episode. And y'all already know why, because it was black girls everywhere. And I love to see it. And so by default, it's my favorite. The first episode was good, the one about the dolls. Now that one was very AHS, very, 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 very American Horror Story. And I liked it. So between that one and Bloody Mary, those were my favorites. But these other ones have been, keep those in the vault next time. Okay? No, actually, cutting room floor. That's where we need to keep those next time. Leave them there. Leave them there. Because this episode was just, you know, come on with it. Come on with the thriller, with the scary. I'm tired of these storylines that are just like, what? You know? Anyway, let me get off of here. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.